I became a teacher because I wanted to help kids, go to college and, do something with their lives and get a good career.
I became a teacher because I wanted to be the class that kids look forward to going to. I wanted to be a teacher that they could come to class and have a fun time and have positive energy.
I became a teacher because I enjoyed working with kids. I wanted an opportunity to coach. I played a lot of sports growing up, so just having the ability to work with children and coach. And summers off. I'm just kidding.
Because I always wanted to teach kids. I used to teach my stuffed animals. Yeah, I know. And I had an 8th grade math teacher that made me better at math. So then I was like, this is what I want to do, because from then on I got really good at it. So
I became a teacher because I love students, and I love seeing what the look on their face when they actually finally start to get something, or when they turn it around.
I became a teacher because I love working with kids.
I became a teacher because I always liked working with kids, and I was getting a little bit unfulfilled in my job as a social worker, not feeling like I was helping enough, and I figured if I got into education I would have the opportunity to have more of an impact on people.
I became a teacher because my mom was a teacher and still is. I went to school with her when I had off from school sometimes, and I saw how she really made a difference in her students' lives, and I knew that I wanted to do that too. So.
My mother and I were driving in a car. She asked me about what sort of things I was planning for after high school graduation, and she came up with the idea of me being a music teacher.
well, I started in teaching. I took a class in college and it was called Child Development, and I just loved it. I loved learning about how kids think and how they learn, and I just loved it, and from there I just went with it and just started taking classes towards that.
Because my comedy, magician, juggling act was failing.
Because my second grade teacher, I really liked her, and I remember her, Mrs. Whitman. I still remember her. She used to read Stuart Little books to us. So I love that, and I was like, I just want to become a teacher after that.
I became a teacher to help people sing, to raise their confidence, and yeah, to help out the kids.
I first became a teacher because I wanted to work with children.
I really enjoyed working with students, and when I went to college I really wanted to coach also at the high school level. And so I thought teaching and being involved, going for physical education, be able to be involved in games and activities is something I love.
I would definitely work in the food industry because that's what my parents do, and it's a pretty good job.
I would probably pick a career where I could travel, maybe like a flight attendant or something like that.
I don't know, when I started out in college I got into communication, so maybe like sports broadcasting, sports writing, something like that.
Probably a lawyer, money, and I think I could debate pretty good.
Professional wrestler.
Why? Because I love Grey's Anatomy.
I always loved acting or something in the entertainment field.
A wedding planner or an interior designer. I just like designing things, decorating. I love planning. So probably that.
I think it would be in law enforcement.
I think it may be real estate, selling that. I like to be on the move, so it would have to be something that I'm busy with.
Comedy, magician, juggler.
Oceanographer. I always love the ocean. I wanted to be an ocean.
I would be on Broadway. I would be a performer. But if all that didn't pan out, I would really like to be a realtor, actually.
Nursing, absolutely. I would have been a nurse, maybe an ER nurse or work in a nursing home, but the nursing field.
I was actually going to college to be an accountant first, work with numbers, so that was probably what I was going to do first, but then I changed it after the first year.
When kids are talking while I'm talking, that drives me crazy.
When students are talking when I'm talking, I'm not really loud as it is, so then when other students are talking, it's hard for them to hear me.
Repeating myself when people don't listen the first time.
Spitefulness and disrespect.
Apathy, when I hear people say they don't care.
Students not turning their work in on time.
People who complain and don't try to fix things. They just want to
I would
complain.
say when my students don't ask for help.
People who litter.
I think when I say to the students, any questions, and I don't hear anything, and then 5 minutes later, hands up, right?
Teachers that give stupid answers to questions to students.
Kids not handing in work, my gosh, we go so slow and no one's handing in
When my
work.
students don't give 110%, when I'm over here trying to get them to sing out and they don't try as hard as they should.
Just not knowing what's going on behind the screen. When I'm teaching the cyber kids and I don't know if they're listening, I don't know where their attention is, because that's out of my control.
Is when sometimes kids don't understand their true potential and how they got to go after things.
Hybrid for sure. Being in person is definitely better.
My students definitely do better. Hybrid, it is gym class, so students are definitely participating a lot more when it's
Students definitely do better in class, in person.
in person. Hybrid, much better.
Definitely hybrid, definitely cool.
Hybrid, well, in person. Why? You can focus better. I'm actually in your presence.
I think any opportunity where a child gets in front of a teacher and that they can work together is a better situation. So I like the hybrid better than online.
I think my students do better hybrid. I think that, it really helps when we're here to be one-on-one with our students, even if we can't be super close with them this year because of everything. I think being in the building helps them succeed a little bit more.
I think it's a mix of both, so I'm like really happy about some people taking that initiative to kind of do their thing at home and work and kind of put together a lot of good stuff. And I think some people just felt that they were better off here interacting with other students.
Hybrid.
I feel they do better live in person because teachers can be more attentive to them.
I guess it would be hybrid because the online you just all remote. Yeah, the ones who are coming in are doing much better. Yeah.
Definitely not online. Hybrid is really tough. I would really like to have everybody back in person. I feel like that's the best way to sing is all together in person. It's like what choir is. So definitely not online.
In school, I've had, although I love my hybrid, my cyber kids, I'm fogging up. I think their attention is much better in the class.
Definitely in the building, instruction kids do that.
I went to McDaniel College and graduated from there. It was a great experience. I loved it there.
I graduated from Rowan University. I loved it. I had a great experience and met a lot of great people along the way.
I graduated from Arcadia University back in 1998. I enjoyed it. I was only there. I transferred in because I started out at Camden County, but I really enjoyed my time.
Rowan University, and it was good. I commuted, so it was simple. Felt like high school.
Graduated from Rowan University with a 4.0. It was awesome. I was a health and PE teacher. And then I got my master's degree from University of Scranton.
To Westchester in Pennsylvania, and it was great.
I graduated from Rowan University for my undergrad degree, and it was okay, can't complain. And then I graduated from Wilmington University for both of my master's degrees, which that was fine.
I graduated from Rowan University, and it was good. I think looking back, I should have got involved with more things, but I commuted, I didn't live there, so I really just went to my classes and went home. But I liked it, the professors were great.
I graduated from the University of the Arts and Boston University. They were both really intense. There was lots of really good things and experiences that I had, really great teachers at both, and I'm glad that I did.
Rowan University, it was fabulous. I thought it was a great experience. I commuted 2 years and then I lived there 2 years. It was wonderful.
How was it?
Rowan University and RSCJ, what's it? Rowan College of South Jersey, RCSJ. I went there first and then Rowan.
I graduated from Rowan. I first went to the University of Rhode Island, spent a year there, and then came back and was at Rowan University. I absolutely loved it. It was the best experience.
Rowan University, Pride. It was awesome. I loved Rowan.
I went to Rowan. I graduated from there, and I spent 5 years there because I started out as a music major and switched to education. I was going to do music education until I realized I wasn't that talented. And then I went to regular education, and I went traveled on through elementary to middle school.
Went to the University of Delaware. It was a great experience, a huge college. Was there wrestling actually Division I program, but then they dropped the program 2 years into it. But then I really enjoyed, the other parts of the school and the academic part of it. So it was a great experience for me.
I'd say it's harder because we don't have everybody in person, so it's difficult trying to get the kids to do things online sometimes and keep them the same with our kids who are in person.
There's pros and cons to this year. It's been easier as a new teacher because the class sizes have been smaller, so it's a little bit more manageable. But it's been harder because I just feel that the social interaction is low, so it's been harder to really make connections with people.
The beginning of the year, it was very, very difficult up until about Thanksgiving. Once we got rid of the Apex program and some kids started coming back to school, things got a lot easier. So as the year went on and we figured things out, it got easier.
I definitely think it's harder for the kids and, trying to learn. I think it's harder for teachers, changing all their lessons that they had that worked so well to make them online. But I do think it's easier as far as being receptive and I guess a little more lenient, understanding with things that are going on with the kids and stuff.
This year, it's definitely harder for our kids, which probably makes it harder on everyone else.
Way harder. 100,000 times harder. Because there's so much going on. People on the computer, people at home, Google Meets, it's just a hot mess.
It is both easier and harder. I think easier in the effect of time with kind of getting a little bit extra time here and there to get some things done, but it's harder in the effect that trying to encourage people, keeping them motivated, even myself at times feeling less motivated because I'm not in front of a class full-time, 100%. I'm an energetic kind of person, but feeling lazy at times because I'm sitting behind a desk talking to a computer instead of up and moving. So yeah, hard and easy, I guess.
Harder. It's harder because it's just a lot of things at once. We have to make sure we're there for our kids that are at home and for our kids that are in person. But we're getting through it. We're doing a great job and we're almost done. So hopefully next year's back to normal.
Easier or harder?
It's definitely a little bit more challenging. I don't know if I would use the word easier or harder. I would sit there and say in some respects it's just different. How people are turning their work in, how people are getting their work done, and how we're able to kind of fix or improve and talk about the good things that they're doing as well. Just different.
It's definitely more difficult. It's easier than last spring, but more difficult than regular school. I miss seeing my students. I like them in school.
Indifferent. It's been just a bunch of different changes that teachers have and students have had to adjust to. So it's been fun. I love teaching, but it's been different.
Definitely harder. Absolutely a lot harder to teach this way. It's very unnatural, and I think kids feel that way too.
This is the hardest year of teaching of my entire life. It is very difficult. It is hard to have people sing when they are at home on a computer, so it's really, really hard.
It's definitely more difficult. It's easier than last spring, but more difficult than regular school. I miss seeing my students. I like them in school.
It's a difficult year. Difficult to try to keep students on task, keep teachers on task, keep myself on task, to keep my sanity and to going and making sure we can offer as much as we can for our students to have some type of normalcy as they finish out their year.